Hey there, thanks for checking out a very special episode of the Restoration Today podcast. We are talking big news in the industry. There's been big M&A news in relation to ATI in the last couple of weeks. And today I am very excited to be joined by three people who have been in the headlines and part of all of this transition and M&A news. So I am joined by Jeff Moore, who is the president of ATI, Travis Bailey, who's the president of Carolina Restoration Services, and Mitch Martin, who's the CEO of Venturi Restoration. And all of these companies have now come together in the last few weeks to now form the third largest non-franchise restoration company based on office numbers in the US. So that is a big, big feat here. And congrats to ATI on achieving that. And I know that you have big growth goals from here. This isn't the end. Sky's the limit here. So congrats to all of you. So Jeff, I'm going to toss it over to you and have you introduce yourself and share a little bit about the background of ATI for people who are unfamiliar.
Thank you very much, Michelle, for having us on today. My name is Jeff Moore. I'm president of ATI. I'm a second generation restorer working in a family business. What is ATI? ATI is a company that was founded by my father back in 1989. Like both of my brothers and my dad, we grew up in the restoration business. So my dad's only had a couple jobs, all in restoration. And there's four of us that work in ATI today. We are the largest family-run full service restoration company in the United States. And we continue to partner with incredible owners like Travis and Mitch that have just really blessed the organization, our family. We're excited to welcome them into not only the Moore family, but the ATI family. And just what an incredible opportunity for us to grow, extend our family, provide more opportunities for all of our employees and our customers and our subcontractors. And that's a little bit about ATI.
Perfect. And for people who aren't familiar, you can go back and watch a previous podcast that I did with more of the Moores on the entire story of ATI and how they've evolved over the years. So, okay, Travis, I'm going to kick it over to you. Carolina Restoration Services. You were the most recent announcement on Thursday of last week with your merger with ATI. So go ahead and introduce yourself and share a little bit about the background of your company.
Sure. So Travis Bailey, president of Carolina Restoration Services. A lot of similarities to Jeff and the Moore family. Lisa and I, my sister, own Carolina Restoration Services. Second generation. My mother and father started it in 1997. So one of the only jobs I've ever had being in the restoration industry. Love the restoration industry. Carolina Restoration Services, we are comprised of 115 very talented team members, driven by an amazing leadership team that does an outstanding job. We also are residential and commercial, full service, mitigation, contents restoration, reconstruction as well. So we've got a very talented and outstanding team around us that make the leadership team look really good and make our jobs easy sometimes.
Perfect. Okay. And Mitch and Venturi Restoration. I know that Venturi has gone through a few transitions. So share a little bit about yourself and the background and your background.
Yeah. I started in 1979 with this company, and we've gone through some transitions. In 16, we sold the company and then bought it back in 2020, March of 2020. We have about 400 employees, 22 locations. And, I am first generation doing this. I don't have the family background in it, but, it's been a good run.
Perfect. Okay. So Mitch, I'm going to stick with you. What does stuff look like within Venturi today? You are a week out from your announcement now, I think maybe a week and a half at this point. So what does the transition look like as of right now?
It, really went pretty well. The guys, Jeff and Dave Carpenter and Eric and several of the guys traveled all over and visited all of our sites, which was yeoman's work. It was tough, but it paid big dividends. Everybody's pretty calm, pretty happy. They understand who ATI is, and we're real happy to be here.
Perfect. Okay. And Travis, how are things looking at CRS this morning? You made it through the weekend and now it's first full week of being part of ATI. So what does stuff look like on your end?
Just another Monday right now, to be completely honest. No changes, just sitting down with different team members, making sure they don't have additional questions from the presentation last week. But We had some storms, so it was a busy weekend and a busy Monday. So it's business as usual as of today. So things are great.
Jeff, from the ATI side, what are some things that you do to help with the transition process to make it as seamless as possible for these companies that are coming into the fold?
Well, first of all, it just takes time. So it's, as we mentioned, we visited all the locations the last 2 weeks. To follow up to your previous question, there has been a couple of changes. One thing I think it's been a positive change is, I think that just the first week with Venturi alone, I think we got jobs. We were able to outsource jobs. I think they signed up a $400 and something thousand job for us in St. Louis. We gave them a job in Washington, D.C. They got one in Charlotte. They got another one in the Carolinas. And I think they got one in maybe Portland or Washington. So from that perspective, we're able to service more customers. And we got a call from one of our big national customers who already committed to a $5 to $10 million a year in work. Just in 2 markets where Venturi was at, where we weren't currently servicing, and they were using an existing service provider. So the synergies have been incredible, not only with the team. We've got some former employees that work over at Venturi. It was funny. I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe today, when we were in Phoenix. And one of the guys knew a bunch of our staff in Phoenix. And literally, we were in their office, and within an hour of the announcement, they drove 35 miles north up to the Phoenix office. And I had a picture of the top producing project director from Venturi with his feet up on one of the offices in ATI. And he was already asking, he's like, when can I move in? This is closer to my house. And I'm excited to have you all. And now I don't need to drive to the other side of town to go get equipment. So it's been really fun. The transition takes time, Michelle. Anytime you're taking, I equate, the whole merger thing very much like a marriage. It's not like you go on a blind date or an online date today and you get married tomorrow. Things that are worth the wait, they just take time. And so things are going to take time to transition, to go from, it's not 1 + 1 = 2, 1 + 1 = 4, but we're not in a hurry. We just got, I guess we just got engaged, and, to get married, there's a long process in order to figure out. There's incredible things that the guys at Venturi and the gals do. It's incredible what Travis is able to do. I was sharing with him, Carolina Restoration is already the second largest office in the ATI fleet. It's incredible what they have been able to do in Raleigh, North Carolina. They do more revenue than we do in Los Angeles or Boston or Chicago. Wow. There's just as much learning on our side as there is on their side. So it just takes time, Michelle.
Sure. Yep. That makes total sense. Okay. And that was a perfect segue, actually. Travis, I'm going to kick it back over to you. And I'm curious, this is such a hot market for selling and buying, and there's private equity interest. There's a lot of different directions you could have gone with a merger. So what stood out about ATI that helped you decide that they were the right company to partner with versus one of the other options out there?
Well, looking back when we started trying to make the decision of what we were going to do, I guess it was 3 years ago. So we handle a pretty high revenue out of our office. There's only but so much. We have one office, and last year we're over $30 million in revenue. There's only but so much one office can do out of revenue. And when you're looking at our leadership team, our employees who are extremely talented, we had to look and forecast the growth opportunity for our team. So we had to make a decision who we wanted to partner with. So we did a lot of interviewing with a lot of other companies. But as soon as we met Jeff and the ATI team, it was a pretty easy decision with our core values and being, family owned and operated with the Moore family and Jeff and his team. It was a blessing to have met them, where our teams and our family can unite and make something larger and bigger with more opportunities for our team. Having their resources and their capability with their culture and their values when they align with ours, it made it a pretty easy decision. It wasn't an easy decision in general. It was definitely a tough decision in general, but once we met them, we knew exactly who we wanted to partner with. It was an easy decision for that.
Okay. Mitch, I'm going to toss the same question over to you of how you determined that ATI was the right fit for Venturi.
It wasn't an easy decision. We had just been through a a different acquisition merger, and we bought the company back. And I spent about 2.5 years talking to Jeff, and there were other interests, that kind of thing, but nothing compared to with ATI. The family values, the people being the most important thing. I saw evidence of that. I had people that worked at ATI working for me, and it just, it held true. And so that was the decision for us. We just wanted to be with somebody with similar values. And it was very clear after 2.5 years of us talking that they had the same values.
And Mitch, what advice would you give other restoration companies that are maybe thinking about selling, about going through the process? What was like your biggest takeaway, whether it's due diligence or do your homework, or I don't know, what's your big takeaway from the process that you would impart to other owners?
I hated the due diligence. I really did, but that it's a necessary thing. What I really think I would tell people is to take your time, get to know the company you're talking to or the PE company you're talking to. Make sure they have the same values. Make sure you're joining a group of people that have the same values. I've only met Travis once and his sister Lisa once at a dinner, but it became very clear to me they're the same type of values and same core values as Travis said that we have. And that's important to make sure that, we're joining a group, not just ATI, but a group of people with the same values and to care about people the way we do.
Travis, what about you? What advice or wisdom do you have to impart on other restorers?
Be patient. We're used to in our industry with a sense of urgency to get things completed quickly. It's the opposite. So just take your time. Don't hurry. It's a big decision. Make sure that everything aligns with what you worked hard for. I think a lot of big players out there are focusing heavy on commercial. We're residential and commercial. So you just want to make sure that's a big transition if you're residential and commercial joining with a commercial only type entity. So there's a lot of different caveats to make sure that things align. And yeah, like Mitch said, get your head prepared for the due diligence, because it's a process, but just be patient, be optimistic, and don't get in a hurry.
Jeff, what advice do you give restorers that are maybe like, I'm thinking about it, but I don't know? What do you tell them to encourage them maybe to even explore it?
So I think anyone exploring it, I think, the most important part is choosing the suitor. Who are you looking for? If you're going to go down this path, what's your end goal? Because as an owner, if you're looking to exit and you've got a few employees, may be different than if you've got any quantity of employees like what Travis and Mitch had. Are you looking to take care of the employees? Are you looking to make sure there's no changes in the business? Are you looking to make sure you can still service all your customers? There are different buyers for different businesses. ATI is not the right partner for every business. And so make sure you do your due diligence. But I think the most important part, I shared this with Mitch and Travis and really anyone I ever talked to. Once you decide who to go with, it's really no different than hiring an employee. There's two ways to go about doing reference checks. You can call the 3 on the resume. I think we all can validate that those are going to be 3 really good references, but call all the others. The reality is, if you're considering a deal with ATI, there's 10 owners we've done deals with, and I'll give you all 10 owners' names and second tier names as well. You want to figure out what it's like from not only the owner's perspective, but what's it like from Jason's perspective at Carolina Restoration? What's it like from Nate's perspective at Venturi? Whether you're 2 weeks in or you're Mark Schultz at Mark 1 that's 2.5 years in, how are the employees treated week 1? How are they treated 2.5 years in? Because if you care as much about people as Mitch and Venturi and Travis and Carolina and the Moore family do, that's going to be one of the first questions is, did they come in and get rid of a bunch of employees? Did people get promoted? And it's not just all about the dollars and cents. It's no different than sizing up an employer. It's you don't always take the best offer because sometimes it's too good to be true. So make sure you do your due diligence. Like Travis said, take your time. It is one of the biggest decisions, if not the biggest decision in your professional career, And if you're a second generation owner or third generation owner, it's not just impacting you. Even if you're like, Travis and Lisa, where the parents aren't involved anymore, don't get me wrong. Travis and Lisa still consulted with their folks. Every second and third generation, anyone that had a hand in the business at one point has a say in the future of that business.
Yes. Okay. That was a really good segue, because Travis and Mitch, both of you, I'll kick it to Travis first. I'm curious what you're most excited about now, looking into the future, now that the mergers are done. What, Travis, you specifically, what are you looking forward to most?
I think it's opportunity for our team. I think there's going to be tremendous opportunity. We're going to be able to unite on a bigger level with a lot of Mitch's offices, with other ATI offices, and just specifically in the Carolinas, there's going to be a huge opportunity for a lot of people to continue to grow the all-star team that we're creating. Absolutely excited for that.
Awesome. And Mitch, what about you? What are you most excited about?
Yeah, the growth opportunity for the people is, paramount. But I think I'm looking the growth for the business too. I mean, like Jeff said earlier, we've already gotten 5 or 6 pretty significant jobs in the first week we were together, which I think is great. And when I found out that they were Carolina was joining us, I got real excited, because they're a massive player in the Carolinas, and we can help each other. They can help us a lot, and hopefully we can help them cover some ground.
Okay, Jeff, so now what? Where is ATI heading now? What are you looking forward to? What does the future look like?
We're having so much fun, Michelle. We love what we do. We love promoting employees. We love having people, rise to the ranks, especially as we've got new people like Carolina and Venturi. So I think I'm most excited for promoting people within and having people elevate the careers and the more opportunities, like Travis and Mitch said. Where are we going? I don't know. There's no goal in sight. Just continue to have fun. And as long as we're blessed and have opportunities to partner with incredible companies like Carolina and Venturi, we'd love to continue to do so, but we're so particular in who we partner with. At the end of the day, we're only as, I think I shared with, maybe it was Mitch or maybe it was Carolina when I was in their offices, we're only as good as our last bad job, our worst employee in the organization. And so making sure we partner with the right companies is first and foremost what we have to do, because we want to continue to service customers in all 50 states and provide opportunities like we've been fortunate to over the last 2 weeks with Venturi. We want to continue to do so. And I want to learn. I'm excited to learn from Travis and Carolina and Jason and Lisa and the whole team over there. How can we be running a $30 million operation in Raleigh? Why aren't we doing that in LA? Why aren't we doing that in San Francisco? There's so much to be learned from all of them. So yeah, the sky's the limit. Just continue to have fun, service more customers, and promote more employees is what I'm really excited about.
I love it. Okay, Jeff, one more thing for you. You are so good at building relationships within the industry and networking with people and opening up ATI facilities. Like you just had that amazing RIA event that I didn't get to be at, but I've only heard amazing things in February. Was that in February or March? Yeah, but February. Okay, February. So do a little plug for RIA and the role that RIA has played in ATI's growth and success and networking and getting to know so many people over the years. We're only, by the time people hear this, a week and a half out from convention, it's going to be huge. People need to be there.
So first of all, what is the RIA? RIA is it's a trade association for all restorers. If you don't know about it, you need to go check it out. Restorationindustry.org. It is incredible. If you haven't been to their conference, it is for education. It's for networking, learning about new services, new providers. It's the who's who of the industry. At the end of the day, I don't care if it's you want to send whoever's running procurement, your CFO, your CEO, your general manager. It's the relationship industry, and that you don't have to be looking for a merger. I want to learn. I want to learn how to scale better. I want to find out what's going on with the TPAs and figuring out what's new with Exactware and CoreLogic. We're going to have incredible speakers. The gentlemen that are running, we've got Lance Malcolm from Contractor Connection, who's the president for the U.S. speaking. We've got Jesse Herrera, who heads up, he's a COO over at CoreLogic. He's going to talk about what's going on. You're going to have panels of the who's who in the industry. So whether you're the gentleman or the gal that just started your business and you're not even doing $100,000 a year, or you're doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. There's something for you to learn and gain. But at the end of the day, first of all, you've got to be a member of the RIA, because we can't move the needle. We can't support your business. We can't improve your bottom line and look out for all of the obstacles that we're fighting on behalf of you as restorers unless, one, you join. And then not only join, you got to be an active member. So you got to show up to our conference. It's at Rose and Shingle Creek Resort in Orlando, Florida, April 24th to 26th. Don't miss it. Jump online right now and sign up.
Nicely done. You'd think you'd promoted that a few times before. Nicely done.
Just a couple.
All right, gentlemen. Well, this was fantastic. Thank you for all of the insights and everything that you've shared. Do any of you have anything else you want to add before we wrap it up? Travis, Mitch, Jeff, anybody? No? We're good?
No, I got one last thing. For anyone who's in Carolina, if you haven't seen Travis's facility in Raleigh, it is freaking incredible. And we would, I am saying this on behalf of Travis and the team. We'd love to show you their facility. Top 10 facility in the entire country. I've seen a lot, Michelle. It is ridiculous.
That's impressive. That's a big feat. Congrats. All right. Well, congrats to all of you on these mergers. It's very exciting. Congrats on the growth of ATI. I look forward to hopefully seeing all of you at RIA or sometime soon. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Thanks, Michelle.
For more Restoration Today and the latest news, visit our website, cnrmagazine.com, and find the latest episodes of the Restoration Today podcast on your favorite podcasting platform.